This is what I wish Golf Channel talked about. You don't have to be shooting, par to use the grass to your advantage. And this one is one that people blade all the time, and it's mind-boggling that people don't teach this somewhere. Thank goodness for the free club cleaners, am I right? You don't have to take what I'm saying, but I can almost guarantee it'll help you to some extent. This isn't going to be your average video here, tutorial, how to swing. I'm going to teach you about grass and how it can help you chip, and hopefully it'll save a couple of shots for you. Now, if you look behind me, you'll see this giant puddle right here. We got about 3 inches of rain last night, and most people, this is their worst nightmare. But I'm going to show you how you can chip in muddy conditions, in horrible lies, all of it, and still hit good chip shots. Now, you're probably thinking, how in the world can this grass help me hit the ball better? Now, disclaimer again, this is Bermuda grass. Please note, none of this might apply, it might not on other grass. I've been playing golf on this grass for literally a decade. So I have had every lie possible. At least I think so. We'll see if we can invent some new ones. But there's a lot to be learned from Bermuda grass. One characteristic of Bermuda grass is it's extremely grainy. The blades lay over extremely easy. So when you get giant runoff, like that water behind me, it'll push all those grass blades over, which is really good in some instances and really bad in others. So let's hop right in and I'll explain all of it. So our first chip we've got here is the down grain chip. What that means is the grass blades have essentially been laid over in the same direction that we're hitting. So all these grass blades are pushed that way. That happens because all the water runs down the hill towards that low area right there before the green. I think that makes sense. Water pushes and it lays the grass blades over. What that means for the chipping though is everything is pushing our club that way. It means the ball is going to come off a little bit lower, a little bit more spin, and you're going to have a less tendency to chunk it, which is good. We like that. You'll see I take a sizably small divot for how soft it is. Let's move on to the next one, and that one is going to be an into the grain chip, and you'll see it's going to be a wildly different divot than that one. All right, now on this one, you're going to see we're into the grain. All the water is running down this big hill, so all the grass blades are laid into us. So when we hit with the leading edge, it's going to want to stand those grass blades up, and therefore we're going to take a huge divot here. And I'm not even going to try to take a huge divot. I'm going to try to hit this one just the same as I hit the other one, and you'll see it's going to take a monster divot. See what I mean? 3 times the size of the other one. And I have mud all over me. That's not ideal. Pretty sizable divot, so. But I think you get the point there. Wow, that's wet. I think you get the point there. The end of the grain shots take a huge divot. So the question is, how can we capitalize on this? Knowing this, how can we capitalize on hitting the best shots possible from these different situations? And this is for all golfers. I want you to preface with that. You don't have to be shooting, par to use the grass to your advantage, right? Let's look at this end of the grain shot. This is a little bit drier right here. Now on these, in order to counteract the grass trying to make you chunk it, you essentially want to try to thin it. Before you go, wait, he wants me to hit it bad? Hold on. When I say try to thin it, instead of trying to hit the ball here, you want to try to hit the ball here. We're talking about a 1/16 of an inch difference. Now you're like, this guy thinks I can control it within a 1/16 of an inch? Yeah, I do. I think you're better than you think, okay? I think if you just try to almost pick the ball off the grass, that's what helps me. Now this is a much drier spot, so I shouldn't take as much of a divot. I'm just going to try to pick the ball off the grass. I can kind of counteract, see much smaller divot. Part of that's it's wet, part of that's I hit it the way you should hit an into the grain shot. This isn't what Golf Channel talks about. This is what I wish Golf Channel talked about. It's really about how you're trying to hit it. I mean, that's 2 within 2 feet of the hole. I'll go show them to you. But barely any divot at all. That's what you need to be striving for. There's the 2 balls that I hit right there. So let's go ahead and go on a firm lie. There's not many of those today. Let's see if we can find a firm lie, and I'll try to teach you a little something there. All right, so this is the hardest lie I could find. Obviously, it rained a ton, so it's not very hard. But want you to look at this. When I have a really hard lie, I can hit down as hard as I want. I can hit straight down on it, and it's still going to bounce up, and it's never going to dig. Like what? Literally, right? Barely even made a divot. I'm swinging straight down at it. So don't be afraid to hit down. This is where you can really get some spin. See what I'm saying? Barely taking a divot. That was a full swing flop, right? I can hit a little nipper. I hit an inch and a half behind that ball, and it's still just bounced straight up. So if you have one of these extremely hard, they're typically downhill lies, but they could be an uphill lie too. If it's an extremely hard lie, like you stand on it and it feels like concrete, don't be afraid to hit down on it hard. Also, if you don't feel comfortable opening up the face on one of those, go ahead and get that leading edge a little bit closer to the ground, push your hands forward a little bit, and that'll eliminate a lot of those blades. All right, I found a great lie right here. Extreme downslope. I mean, we're, whatever the difference in that is, 20 degrees. So how do we counteract the ball coming out low since we're already, essentially de-lofting the club 20 degrees? Simple answer here. Open your club face. Don't be scared to open it up. It's what bounce is for. You're not going to chunk it. You just got to hit the ball good. But for me, when I'm hitting the ball off a downslope, I want to feel it more back in my stance. I don't know if that's right or wrong. If you want to correct me in the comments, go right ahead. This is what works for me. It may not work for you. Now we have an uphill one. I tried to find as dry a lie as possible. But when you're on an uphill, now we've added 20 degrees of loft to the club. So how do we counteract that? There's two ways. One, you swing harder and just accept that it's going to be high. Or two, you can set, well, actually three ways. Whoa, bonus way. Two, you can set your hands forward a little bit and counteract the de-loft. Or three, you just take a lower lofted club. I would say three is going to be your best option. So I'm going to hit one of these with each of those three methods, and we'll see. This is the first one here. This is just, it's going to go high. I hit that an absolute mile. That flew the green by 5 feet. All right, now we're going to see if we can counteract it with my hands. Yep, that's the one I typically use. So let me go grab another club. All right, got a 50 degree now. 50 plus 15 degrees. Now we're hitting a 65-ish degree wedge. So I should just hit this standard. It should come out just like that other one that I hit, in theory. A little lower, but the same idea. All right, we're going to hit one bonus idea here. There's a big mud puddle over here. Don't tell your wife or whoever does your laundry or my mom if you're watching this. I'm sorry, but I got to hit it. Like, it just looks too good not to hit. And I got to teach you how to hit out of the mud. All right, we've got a huge mud puddle right here. Now, this is so soft, I'm just going to play it like a bunker shot. And it's going to splatter all over the place, and I'm going to be in trouble. It's going to happen. It's going to be okay, though. It's going to be okay, guys. Let's go to that left pin. So I'm going to open up the face, hit it just like a bunker shot. Try to use the bounce, sweep right underneath it. That almost dunked. And now I have mud on me. That's great. Well, guys, I have sacrificed not only my club face full of mud, but also all my clothes. So don't forget to hit that like button because I'm sacrificing a lot for this. If you like this video, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. I'm sure I'll make some more. If you have any questions, because I'm sure there'll be tons of questions about grass, about how it affects the ball, about spin, about all sorts of things. Go ahead and drop those in the comments. I will respond to them as fast as I possibly can. It sends me an email, so it can't take more than a day. I'll get you a response on any questions you have. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a great and amazing weekend.